Welcome back, familia, to the Vidal M. Treviño School of Communications and Fine Arts first ever virtual Hispanic Festival 2020. My name is Gregorio Garza and I'm part of the great VMT family. Today, Mr. Jose Luis Vara will demonstrate how to perform standard rhythms on the shaker and claves. His lesson will also include how the clave rhythms influence the rest of the parts in Latin music. Afterwards, stay tuned for the performance of our VMT faculty incorporating the Latin rhythms covered. Our choir instructor, Ms. Hernandez, will teach us how to make a homemade shaker so you can participate in our performance.
Hello, my name is Jose Luis Vara. I'm the percussion teacher here at VMT, School of Communications and Fine Arts. In this video, as part of the Hispanic Festival, we'll be going over some Latin rhythms for you to play with us here at the end of this video. So when we do the parts talking about claves and shaker, make sure to clap along with the claves and shake along with that shaker so you're ready to perform with us at the end of the video. One of the most important rhythms found in Latin music is clave. Translated, that means key. But let's not confuse the rhythm clave with the instrument claves. All right? Claves, plural, clave, singular. Clave is a rhythm that has two measures in it. All right? So, I'll demonstrate clave with actual claves, which is very common. So, the first type of clave or clave direction is 2-3. We call it that because in the first measure there are two notes, and in the second measure there are three notes, like this. 1, 2, ready, go. So you have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now, the other direction is 3-2. And it's just 2-3 clave, but we flip it around. So you have the first measure with 3 notes and the second measure with 2. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And that is clave. Now, the direction, whether it's 2-3 or 3-2, is very important in Latin music. The clave direction determines what all the other instruments, including timbales, congas, the bongo, the piano, and even the wind instruments and the vocalists, what kind of rhythms they're playing. So we'll be getting into some of those rhythms and instruments with this video. Clave affects how the congas play the 2-drum tumbao. If we're in 2-3, the first bar is going to be just on the top drum, and the second bar I'll be hitting on the low drum. Okay, so here's your 2-3 clave. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's your 2-3 clave. Now let's flip it around and do 3-2 clave. You'll notice that I'll start on this drum sooner because it's the first bar now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And that's how the clave affects the conga pattern. Clave also determines what the timbales play. Now there are two patterns that are very common to the timbales in Latin music. The first is called cáscara, which translated means shell. So we play it on the shell of the drum. And it goes like this. That's 2 bars in 2/3. If you want to learn how to play the cáscara, there's a very simple phrase you can learn to mimic the rhythm. And it goes like this. I got rhythm like Tito Puente, cause 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 I. If you don't know who Tito Puente is, very famous musician. He's known as the Rey de Timbal, the Mambo King, and he was a huge pioneer of Latin music. So look him up, check him out, Tito Puente. So here's the cáscara in 2/3 clave. Okay, if we do it in 3/2, we flip the pattern around. So here's the cáscara in 3/2 clave. All right. The other pattern that is very common to timbales is the mambo bell pattern. Here it is in 2/3. All right, and once again, we take it around, flip it to 3/2. And there you have it, 3/2 mambo bell.
Hello, my name is Celia Hernandez and I'm the Director of Choral Studies here at the Vidal M. Trevino School of Communications and Fine Arts. Today we are going to be making a homemade shaker out of things that you can find in your own home. You're going to need an empty toilet paper roll, some dry rice, or you can also use some beads. I've got just some random little beads here. A little plate so that you can catch anything that maybe falls out and we don't make a mess. You'll need some tape, a stapler, and some scissors. So let's get started. You're gonna take your toilet paper roll and we're going to squeeze one end just like this. You're gonna take the stapler and we're gonna staple that end closed with 3 staples, one on each end and one right in the middle, just like that. It ends up looking kind of like a little triangle if you turn it on the side, yes? So now that we've got this part of our shaker, now you've got a nice little opening right here and it makes a little pocket. Oops, I need to restaple that one in the middle because it came loose. And if that happens to you, don't worry, don't stress, just restaple and you're good to go. We're going to take some of our shaker materials to actually make that lovely little shaker sound. I'm gonna use rice. Maybe throw in a couple of beads for just some extra sound. Now with the rice, you want to fill it maybe about 1/3 of the way full, not all the way to half because that's going to be a little bit too much rice. So I'm just going to put a little bit more in here. I'm really glad I have this plate to catch this extra rice that's falling. You can kind of give it a little shake and hear how it sounds. Is that good enough? Yeah, I think so. I'm going to drop in a couple of beads in there too, just to make a little difference in the shake sound. All right, so now that you've filled your shaker, it does still look like a little triangle, right? We're going to close this other side and we're going to close it so that it keeps its triangle shape. We don't want to close it flat like this. That'll make it kind of a flat shaker. We want it to stay with that pretty triangle shape. So you're going to take your stapler one more time and just staple this other end, 3 staples to close. Now you've got this little, just kind of puff it up a little bit on the right by it. You've got a great little shaker that already works. Fantastic. Now what we're gonna do with the tape is you're gonna take a small piece of tape just to cover the spiky part of the staples. So it's gonna cover right over the edge, and you'll fold it over on one side. You're gonna do the same thing to the other side. So you'll place the tape with half of it showing through, half of it sticking on one side and the other half on the other. We'll fold it down again. And this is where you're gonna need your scissors. If you have any tape that kind of sticks over out on the edge, we're just gonna take the scissors and just clip it right off. And then you've got a safe little shaker that you can decorate and you can use for any rhythmic song or music. And that's our shaker. Happy Hispanic Festival 2020, everybody.
This is a shaker. In Latin music, this instrument is responsible for driving the rest of the ensemble with a steady stream of notes. Check this out. Okay, so you might have noticed that there are two different sounds that we're making. There's a soft sound, and then you have some hard sounds. So we're going to put those two together so we can play a standard shaker rhythm, right? So what you want to do is you want to make sure you hold the shaker up, right? You want to have your arm just like this, and you're going to move your arm just a little bit for the soft sounds. Check this out. You're just moving it forward and back. Kind of rock it. And then for the loud sound, you want to wind back and throw your hand forward with your wrist. So you can do it without the soft sounds. Just wind back and then throw forward. And then you just fill it in. So your arm is pumping steadily. And you're coming forward and back. And that's how we play shaker. Now that you know how to play the shaker and how to play the rhythm on clave, I invite you to join the VMT music faculty to perform with us a song called Descarga. The song will be in 2/3 clave, so watch out for that. See you soon.
Alongside the percussion instruments that are featured in today's videos, there are also other instruments that are played during the Descarga and the Moliendo Café videos. I'd like to introduce you to those instruments now. Let's go see.
very much for joining us tonight. From our BMT family to yours, thank you and see you tomorrow. Nos vemos mañana. Bye-bye.